to control their own affairs. They do not consider themselves subject to the Queen. They love the Queen, but it gives them pride. Extra pride, knowing that the Queen cannot direct them in any way. So, to my friends in Barbados, congratulations. There are many Jamaicans who are there, and they have married Barbadians, and I'm sure they have joined in this milestone. Wonderful, wonderful. So it behooves, as a question, what about us here in Jamaica? You know, I don't mind talking about it because so many people have called and have said that we do not need our head of state in King's House. Representing the Queen. Is it too far for me to ask? When are we going to change? I'm not here to upset anybody. Saying that we don't need a GG does not mean we are disrespectful to our Governor General. Not so at all. So tonight, is it time for us to become a republic? Numbers in studio 876-9224-112 876-9224-113 876-9224-114 876-9224-115. My email address is Dumas dot dearpastor at gmail.com. Dumas dot dearpastor at gmail.com. You may send me a text or WhatsApp me and use the line 877 1009. Go to my Facebook page. You may post your comments and like the page. My Facebook page, Dear Pastor J.A. Dear Pastor J.A. I wish I could play some music from Barbados. I think the Merrymen came from Barbados. And I'm sure they have some new ones. Different folks have made new songs. I'm going to have to try and get some of them. I hope my assistant can find even a song from the Merrymen, so we can play tonight. Let us take a break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
10:15. The following is a public service announcement from Power 106 FM. Jamaica. Each wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, with the added danger of variants, has brought unprecedented pressure on public resources. Our hospitals and healthcare workers at breaking point. Our economy battered, families in mourning, and our children face an uncertain future due to learning loss. In this race against COVID-19, we must stay in it to win it. We must continue using techniques that can help to beat the virus. Follow COVID-19 mitigation measures, including wearing masks, sanitizing, 6 feet of physical distance from others, and on this leg of our relay, we can win with vaccination. These safe and proven vaccines can make the difference against COVID-19. And now that vaccines are in supply, let's get vaccinated so we can get back on track and keep winning. The finish line against COVID-19 is in sight, and with true Jamaican determination, we can all have the victory. Brought to you by your friends at Power 106 FM.
So we ain't giving up now. We put up a fight. We got to be ready. 'Cause time's getting traded. Just said, don't you worry.
That suffer. People
people suffer because you have some big multi-million-dollar company will rip them off, and the government would sit down and don't do nothing to even subsidize the people, them light bill.
Bonnie, let me say this. A man comes into your country. He gets permission by the government to put up a business. And you have to understand that he must take some of his profit out.
So
that has been going on in Jamaica for many, many years. He's not taking. Hold on, man. He's not taking all of it, but some of it is his investment.
Pastor, I understand what you're saying. You know, said there was a company that was broke in America. Couldn't even pay their bills. And they come and they buy JPS.
We have to take the break, and when I come back, you wrap up.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 10:30.
The following is a public service announcement from Power 106 FM. Jamaica. Each wave of the COVID-19 pandemic with the added danger of variants has brought unprecedented pressure on public resources. Our hospitals and healthcare workers at breaking point. Our economy battered, families in mourning, and our children face an uncertain future due to learning loss. In this race against COVID-19, we must stay in it to win it. We must continue using it and all have the victory. Brought to you by your friends at Power 106 FM.
So we ain't giving up now. We put up a fight. We got to be ready. 'Cause time's getting tricky. Just said, don't you worry.
Welcome back to Dear Pastor. I have Bonnie on the line. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I was saying, and I'm going to wrap up real fast. I said there was a company in America that acquired Jamaica Public Service. They was in bankruptcy. They could not pay their bill. And you know, they come to Jamaica and run JPS, and they were able to take themselves out of bankruptcy by ripping off the people them.
No, well, you see, Bonnie, I can't support you on that. You know, I can't say that the company ripped off Jamaica or ripped off the people. If they came to Jamaica and the business ran well and they made money, good for them. That's business, huh? You don't have to rip off anybody, you know. Ripping off means stealing, you know, and you don't have to do that in business, you know.
Pastor, there's several things, you know, several things to talk about and several things to observe. And you know what? Since I'm on the line with you so long, there's always tomorrow. So I'm going to go and we pick it up. To be continued. You understand, Pastor?
All right. Thank you for the call.
Okay, P.
Let me take another call. Hello.
Yes, dear Pastor. Good night.
How are you doing?
Hello?
How are you, sir?
Yes. Big up my brother Richie from Springfield, Massachusetts. Anyway, let me just say this. I agree with we used to work together. I agree with some of the things that Bonnie was saying in terms of the fact that it's classism when you have a governor general. Yeah, despite of God's love, all of them including the Queen. But when you look at it in the court system, the court of law, if you are inside there, it's almost like they reverence the Queen as a deity in Jamaica, and I don't appreciate that. No man of God should appreciate that. But yes, all of us would like to live a prosperous life like the Queen. And I'm glad for her prosperity. But at the end of the day, she's human. She's not a deity. And I have observed the court system. I was able to call for jury duty once. And I see how they officiate. And some people will take it offensive and will not appreciate the fact that they have to almost like they are bowing down, in court, based on what they say, and God save the Queen and all of that, and you have to give as it reverence. That don't kick right. You see what I'm saying? It does not kick right. So I think I agree that we should have been a republic long time ago. And because I have a question for you though. Is the Queen a part of our administrative system, or is it just direction we are getting? She's just a director of the country.
The Queen refers to our government as her government.
So she gives direction, but she doesn't help us administratively. In terms of business, like finances, like kick dollars into the country, since it's, as you say, it's hers in a sense. Does she pump money into the country? It's hers, and they're giving reverence to this figure. Does she pump money, or she's just giving us directions only?
I don't know about the Queen giving pumping money into this country.
Yeah, so she obviously is not a part of the administration in that sense, but then she is a part of the direction, which suggests to me that, well, racism as in she'll be regarded as a superior figure. Let me be careful how I use my word, because I have much love for her in terms of God's love. But I am saying, in that sense then, to me, the image that portrays that then she's a superior figure, because if she is not helping our finances, and she's a very wealthy person, then if her hands are pulled out and she's not pulling our economy, something is wrong with that picture. If something is wrong, I don't know if you see where I'm coming from.
What would you want the Queen to give money to Jamaica every year?
I don't know if it's an every year thing, but if she is our head of state, she is supposed to be helping the country. My preference would be that we angle this thing and maneuver ourselves with unity, However, but if she's a part of the head of state... No,
but hold on. Caller, remember, let's be fair to the Queen. The Queen hasn't done anything to prevent us.
Let me say this, for instance. Donald Trump, despite what they might say about Donald Trump, and I have a lot of respect for that man. That man gave his salary to charity and also to some impoverished people in America. I am saying, read between the line, the maths. If you are that prosperous, and like the brother say, our dollar has devalued so much, if you have so much, I would probably say legislative power, why can't you be involved in some way, to help build back the economy of the country? I don't think everybody in Jamaica is lazy, because when I remember when I came down, I was looking at some lands that my grandfather died, and I went to certain authorities to see if I could get subsidy like my Mexican friends, compatriot, and that wasn't possible here, and I can see where, because of how things are structured, why I couldn't get the help. So I think a lot of farmers out there are not farming because they think it's counterproductive, so they do other things, One might look at it and say, look how many wasteland is there in Jamaica. Why don't these youngsters go farm and all of that? But I have researched it, because there's no incentive. Because I remember I spoke with you once, and I said there was somebody, Vaughan Supermarket, I knew one of the top guy, and they were trying to get like tomatoes and stuff like to be exported to America. And when I checked out the scenario, I would be losing. So I am saying, why can't the Queen and her structure be a part of actually putting some structure in the Jamaican governance? Why can't she spend time? If obviously it has not been done, because you know what I'm saying? So England is doing very good and they're organized. Why Why can't she be a part of organizing our structure?
No, but hold on. But you know, let's face it. You're not being fair to the Queen.
I am not saying anything.
No, hold on. No. Remember, I listen. I'm responding. What I'm to our administrators here. I mean,
she's the head of state. The head of state. Get rid of them and reshuffle them if they're not doing their job. If you get Donald Trump ever saying if you're not doing your job and functioning, you're fired. Get rid of them.
Well, let me say this. The Queen's money is the Queen's money.
Understood.
And she can do whatever she wants to say.
And well understood, but yeah, while she can do whatever she wants, which is true, there's also people can actually question certain things, have a right to question and have the right to speak and freedom of speech in terms of looking at things that could be feasible. Nothing disingenuous to the Queen, but I'm just saying.
I agree with you, but I think that is the wrong way to go. I think
you personally think that is the wrong way?
Because we have administrators, yeah.
She is the head of the state. All I'm saying, she is supposed to veto, intervene in a lot. I don't know if I should use the word intervene, but into the Jamaican affairs and make certain, because they had heritage here once and they pulled out. I am saying, don't leave us in a mess. We went through slavery. We're at a disadvantage. If you're humane, don't leave us in a mess. How can you have a quick Oricom government structure coming out of slavery without actually have some good constructive, government? Seeing to it that, the fact that we were at a disadvantage, some affirmative action, if you understand. So that money would be like that.
Jamaica became an independent country. And if you're independent, you must run your show.
What does independent mean? No, that's the thing. What does it mean?
And you know very well that we are supposed to run our own affairs.
Yes, but within boundaries. Limitation, because actually all the land space here are just leased to us.
Lord have mercy. I mean, listen, the government can do something about the lands, man, and you know that very well.
Yeah, because they find gold. Where you at living, Dr. Dumas, if they find gold there, you're out of there. You know what I'm saying? If they find a lot of gold, it's not yours. It's the government. Did you know? I'm not quite certain you knew that. So. But I don't know. There's a lot people don't query and question.
So now, well, let me ask a question. Where are you going with this argument now? I mean, about our app. No, where are you going now with the topic now?
I am saying that since you mentioned, I've heard the comment. I didn't quite hear the topic, but I'm just saying that Jamaica, if we are competent enough, to maneuver as government, then we should become a republic. Why?
All right. And I am saying that we are quite competent.
So then why not become a republic and get rid of this?
All right. Let's talk more about it and let all Jamaica talk about it and see where we go.
Yeah, this is where I'm getting at, Yeah, we are competent. We're not inferior. We're not less human beings. So we need to pull together, unite together, and make things happen. We need to learn, learn from what is around us, and we don't have to make our own mistakes. We can learn from other countries and learn. Like I remember I mentioned about America. We need to take some lessons from the American textbook and look at we can do it. That's just the bottom line. I think we should become a republic, just like America is a republic and other countries. And I must commend and congratulate Barbados to become a republic also. I lift my cap after all the people, the government structure and over there.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you. Take it easy.
Yes, sir. I'll leave it on that note. We'll leave it
Yeah,
there.
man. Let's take the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
10:45.
The following is a public service announcement from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The Ministry of Health and Wellness wishes to advise members of the public who have been issued a vaccination card with the manufacturer's information as SII to visit a permanent vaccination site to receive an updated card. These individuals should take along a government-issued ID or a letter from a justice of the peace and their current card to a permanent vaccination site. The permanent sites are listed at vaccination.moh.gov.jm. Let's get vaccinated and let's get back to life.
Welcome back to the pastor. When will Jamaica become a republic? That's my topic tonight. Let me take this call. Hello.
Good night, Dr. Dumas.
And how are you?
Very well, thank you. I hope I find you very well tonight.
Yes, thank God.
Thank you so much for accommodating me on the program. Good night to your listeners here and abroad, and a special commendation to the citizens of Barbados and to the Honorable Prime Minister for their monumental accomplishment in terms of abolishing the Queen as their head of state and having now a president in place. Let me first of all commend the head of the Jamaica Constabulary Forces National Intelligence Bureau, the hardworking and irrepressible Superintendent Sam Blake, for being a most hardworking, exceedingly professional, and dedicated commanding officer of the NIB, and I commend him and implore him to continue the outstanding work, and it would be remiss of me if I did not also commend all the hardworking detectives attached to the Divisional Intelligence Unit working across the 14 parishes of Jamaica. The first issue, Dr. Dumas, before I come to your germane topic. The Jamaica Constabulary Force is the agency of government that enforces the law of our country. They also contribute prodigiously and immensely to government revenues, amounting to billions of dollars every year through court fines and seizure of assets. Despite this, they are treated with scant disrespect and disregard and are rewarded with an inadequate salary remuneration for their service. And even worse, they were promised to be paid overtime hours in wages for 8 years. And now the government has informed them that they can only pay the overtime hours for 2 years, which will span over 4 years. I think this is totally unacceptable for the rank and file members of the police force who are serving this country every single day with distinction. Further, to make their situation even worse, in the present salary negotiations, the government is offering the Police Federation, which represents rank and file officers from the rank of constable to inspector, a 4% increase on their already small salary, and expects them to function in a professional manner every single day. It would seem to me, Dr. Dumas, that this situation is unreasonable, unacceptable, and untenable. And I think with the greatest of respect to the Prime Minister and his government, I think they need to rethink their entire strategy, or they will risk losing more and more police officers in terms of migration. The problems that are plaguing the police force is very serious, such as poor working conditions, and some of these rank and file officers have to be purchasing their police uniforms and also their police boots. They have not been provided adequately on an annual basis with these uniforms and boots, which I think is very, very bad. And both administrations, the past and the present, I think have not addressed adequately the plethora of issues concerning the rank and file members. So I am not only blaming and criticizing this administration, the past administration has also not adequately dealt with the issues affecting the police force. And the approach we have seen recently is very unacceptable. We have a situation where the police officers have to be demonstrating in front of the Supreme Court for their demanding that they be paid for the 8 years of overtime hours and demanding that they get at least a 25% salary increase. I am hoping that the Prime Minister, a very hard-working Prime Minister who means Jamaica well, Andrew Holness, and also the hard-working Minister of National Security, I am hoping that this salary negotiation can be concluded and that they can ensure that the rank-and-file police officers who have families and who put their lives on the risk, who put their lives on the line every single day, that they can be paid a reasonable salary. So I'm hoping that the Police Federation, Corporal Rowan James, will be successful in the coming weeks with the Honorable Finance Minister.
All right. Well, you have spoken quite an
without a doubt, the Queen should be abolished as Jamaica's head of state. And either a ceremonial president or an executive president should be put into place. These negotiations will have to be resolved between the two political parties. The fourth constitutional reform process should also be carried out, Dr. Dumas, such as removing the British-based Judicial Committee of as the country's final court of appeal and allow Jamaica to join the Caribbean Court of Justice. I think also that we need an impeachment law in Jamaica for all elected parliamentarians, a two-term limit for all serving prime ministers. I do not think that a prime minister should serve more than 2 terms. This is the case in the United States with the president. Allow for all senators to be paid a salary and amend the Jamaican Constitution to allow for Jamaican citizens who have become American citizens to also be allowed to be elected as a member of parliament or appointed as a government senator. Currently, if a Jamaican citizen gets American citizenship, that Jamaican citizen who has American citizenship.
Let me just comment there. But you have gone listen, the Americans do not harass Jamaicans who have maintained their Jamaican citizenship.
Yes.
But remember, how are you going to swear allegiance to both countries? if you were to be elected,
yes,
to Parliament here, how are you going to do it? I mean, that part I don't know if I would support you on.
yes.
To me, you should really give up one.
Yes.
The police, I think that it's almost an insult to offer them 4% increase.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
it is.
And I think, Dr. Dumas, for the government to have agreed to pay them approximately 8 years overtime wages, and for them now to change and to be wanting to only pay them for 2 years, I think is also an insult to the rank and file officers. The issue of senators, I think the senators should be paid in Jamaica. And finally, I think that I am reiterating without apology. I think that some discussion, at the very least, should be had in terms of paying the Prime Minister and the MPs much more. And I'm reiterating, it is scandalous, Dr. Dumas, for Jamaica to be paying Prime Minister Holness $8 million per year. I heard one of your callers. I'd like to make a comment. The Queen is head of state constitutionally. She gives form of direction to the Jamaican government. She has no control of the Prime Minister and the administration. And what I find quite unfortunate, if I might term it that way, there are some Jamaican persons who seem to believe, misguidedly, that because the Queen is the head of state for Jamaica, that she has an obligation to be handing out funds from England. That is not how things work at all. So I think that with the greatest of respect to the Queen, I think it is prime time that Jamaica takes the necessary steps to have the referendum and to abolish the Queen as head of state.
You know, there is the mentality here that we should have, that to have wealth is wrong.
Yes.
And everybody who has wealth should distribute that wealth.
Yes.
You know, I mean, and that's an awful mentality. So you hear people say, well, that's not fair for him to have all that money. But many with wealth have had to work very, very hard and invest wisely.
Yes.
And take risk.
Yes.
You know, anyhow, listen, always good hearing from you. Got to move on.
Thank you so much, Dr. Demat. All the best to you and to your listeners. Thank you.
God bless.
Same to you.
Hello, welcome to the Pastor. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to each and every one. I me so bad luck you always upon the break.
June, you don't need to worry.
Anyway,
I would allow you. I'd allow you to speak even after the break.
Thank you. Okay. All right then. Pastor, me call you white outside.
My.
The snow come, me say me call. I mean I love sleeping at clothes, but me have on clothes this time. Because the light bill are going to be real terrible and high, and then war with the government, then war with some put on clothes. So I use less heat. And so we have to do enough. Anyway, Pastor, let me say now, first, I'm very happy for the Barbadian. My British sister married a Barbadian, and I have a Barbadian family too. And I was even at their wedding. I'm all over the place, Pastor, so I'm not even say nothing more. But I live in England, London. I'm all over the place, so I'm not going to chat nothing more about that now. Let me talk about when we want it, you know. Pastor, you know, so I don't like to hear when people talk about Jamaica, people are going to get younger and all them kind of sitting there.
June, let me take the break. You stay on the line.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 11 o'clock.
The National Irrigation Commission Limited encourages efficient irrigation practices and responsible use of water. By doing so, we will allow the aquifer to be recharged and keep the supply flowing. A message from the National Irrigation Commission Limited. Irrigation, making the difference in agriculture.
Welcome back to the Pastor. Go